With the Facebook stuff, it was quite a few years ago. I'd always been interested in bug bounties. At the time I was at university, at Bangor University. About 3 months in, I didn't really kind of want to be there. I was finding it very difficult, very hard to kind of transition, from normal life to kind of academia. And one of my friends said, would you like to come to a hackathon? So I said, yep, I'll give it a try, let's see. So I went to this hackathon and I found a bug bounty in Facebook. I got a little Facebook Visa card for the bug that I found, and it got patched. And that was the start of changing my life around. So I started to sit more cybersecurity certifications, started to transition to kind of like the light side or the white side of security, and then predominantly focus a lot on the bug bounty side. I mean, when someone says to me, hey Jamie, what do you work as? I say I'm a painter and decorator. It's much more easier to have a conversation with somebody than me to turn around and say, hey, I'm an ethical hacker. Immediately they lock up, they start to look for the phone, their credit cards and stuff like that could be on show. But you need to understand that police protect your physical security and ethical hackers protect your online security. And almost 80–90% of your entire day, if not more, is spent online all the time, glued to our devices, our phones. So you do need us, you need the ethical hackers, but unfortunately the media always say the bad side to security. But there's a much whiter and good side. Yeah, so with the Cyber Smile Foundation, I've been with them for quite a few years now, I'd say 4 or 5 years. They have a lot of policies and strategies online to help people that could be suffering from cyberbullying. For students, it's more take everything at kind of a pinch of salt. The difficult thing about being online is you can be anybody that you want to be. You can be an avatar, you can invent your whole self. Nobody necessarily needs to know that that's you, and that can be quite difficult and quite upsetting at the same time. So if you're suffering from any form of kind of bullying or abuse online, there's always people out there to help you. There's a Cyber Smile Foundation, there's numerous resources available online. But talk to your university, and talk to your colleges. They've got whole procedures and policies in place and counselling that can help you, but you're definitely not alone. There's a lot of students that suffer from it every year. So last year I got to hack a yacht in Monaco for 2 whole weeks. I got to test the whole security systems, the personnel, the vetting side, the vetting side to things, and that was something that I'd never done before. Someone, has never turned around to me and said, hey, can you hack my boat? So that was the first time and definitely the highlight of my career. Working with companies is wonderful, but they're very slow paced, very snail paced. Even some of the most innovative companies around the world still have to have barriers, procedures, policies and strategies. Whereas kind of a university environment or an academia environment, it's almost like a sandbox. You can mold what you want, you can create what you want, and a lot of lecturers, professors encourage that type of behaviour. So my passion for kind of computers derives from the fact that I'm autistic. So I started hacking when I was 9 years old. I'd always related to technology. When I say to you, the people that are watching this, and I say, come on, what's 2 + 2? You'd look at me very funny and say why. You wouldn't necessarily say 4, or the majority wouldn't. Whereas the computer side, if I say what's 2 + 2, the computer says 4. If I get it wrong, it's my fault. I've made it do that. So I've always related to technology. And then growing up, I didn't really go out. I didn't spend time with people. I didn't really like people because everybody essentially has their agenda or their story. Whereas me, myself, and my computer has always been friends per se. The talks that you guys provide are, quite amazing. It's a whole range and broad topics. It's not just essentially technology. When I was at university, there were things going on, but it was more societies and clubs kind of bringing, expert speakers to essentially give talks or lectures. But it's definitely beneficial, bringing in some of the experts because it's constantly changing. Even the security side to things, next year all this will be out, essentially out of date, and there'll be new content and new technology and new expert speakers that you'd have to bring on board.